What a time to be alive. Guys, we made it. Last 2 years, absolutely disgusting. But here we are today, approaching the all-time high as Bitcoin is about a month and a half from halving. Today, we're not going to be talking only about airdrops. Today, focus will be primarily on portfolio and portfolio management, because once we actually make money with airdrops, we still need to be able to keep that money and double it, triple it, quadruple it, and more in the upcoming, well, almost confirmed bull market. We'll be discussing a couple cool strategies and ways to optimize your gains and make a really solid BRC20 and even DRC20 portfolio. Let's jump in. Now, personally, I would absolutely love to talk about all the absolute degenerate coins that we have been discussing over the last couple of weeks. Some of them did over 10x, some of them went to zero. But in the spirit of being a responsible human being, today's portfolio will be primarily focused on the proper blue chips, the ones that will most likely stand the test of time and that you can really be confident in be having a solid base for the next year and a half. Obviously, if you're able to handle risk and emotions to a certain degree, we have our Discord where we have amazing channels such as stuff that we talk about crypto in general, the 100x gems, and most importantly, the BRC20 ecosystem, where we discuss really advanced strategies and some really cool alpha can be shared there. If you're considering taking your crypto game to next level, this is the place to be. That said, let's see what we got cooking here with the first strategy that is pretty obvious, but still we need to talk about it. So you can see the biggest centralized exchanges in the world, and if a coin is not on the biggest ones, namely, I had no idea that Bybit is second, honestly, I really thought Coinbase was second, anyway. So if a coin is not on Binance, Bybit, or Coinbase, then there's a high likelihood that once it gets listed there, it will skyrocket. Let us just take an example of Ordi, because Binance had listed Ordi on November 7th, and the announcement was a couple days before. So what was this, like $3-5? And then we go to November, early November, and the announcement time, whoop, 25, 5x. Easiest, simplest way to get huge gains is just keeping an eye on what your favorite tokens and coins, what exchange listings they're on so far. Now, another really cool strategy you can use is regarding snapshot dates. So when a certain project says, okay, guys, everybody who is holding our token on a certain date will get an airdrop. That is the clearest of clearest accumulation zones where a token is appreciating in value until the snapshot date, and then obviously goes into a short-term dump. So as you know, the track token has taken a snapshot on February 28th, and of course, throughout February, it was slowly rising, with a local top being just a couple days ago. Now, we've had the exactly same pattern happening with Corium, because as you know, it is a really under the radar token, to be honest, but they're trying to do something cool over there on Cosmos anyway. And 24th of March was when their guaranteed snapshot date also took place. I remember I had like $300 worth of the token, and it is a very similar pattern. Okay, a little bit choppier, but I wonder what day this is. Oh, look, it is March 24th, and it was like half an hour after. I remember I watched at my wallet and was like, what happened? Oh, all right. Half an hour later. It was absurd. But this is a great lesson because we can actually use this strategy and use even responsible leverage in these cases. Oh, yeah, before I forget, there is a great, crazy promotion going on with the privacy browser. So if you've watched our video on multi-walleting properly, you will know that the safest way to actually get involved in crypto adventures is with a privacy browser. They have a whole month of 50% off on yearly sale. So keep this in mind if you've planned on getting one of these for yourself. Right, jumping in the actual portfolio. So you have, of course, the blue chips of blue chips. We can literally consider ORDI and SATS as Bitcoin and Ethereum over on BRC20. ORDI was the first token over there, and today, honestly, it doesn't have the biggest utility. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but from what I've researched, they are basically like Bitcoin on the BRC20 ecosystem. Next up, we have SATS, which has been actually having some utility over the last couple months. They are planning to use it, and they're already using it in the beta version over here. You can use it as a gas token with the Unisat wallet and Unisat marketplace. But they also have other utility planned down the line, and it is basically your second, it's like your digital silver over on BRC20 ecosystem. And then the third one that I can recommend to most portfolios is obviously Track. They are like an indexer for the Bitcoin blockchain. They allow everything, all the data to be properly organized, and a good comparison would be like the graph on Ethereum. Now, a quick look in tokenomics and market cap. Both ORDI and SATS are already very, very high up there. They're both top 100 cryptos with over a billion in market cap, whereas Track is only sitting around 100 million and around rank 400 as of making of this video. Tokenomics are very, very sound. It was a fair mint, which means that there was no VCs involved, so we cannot expect any VC dumping in our cases. And it is a total supply of 21 million for ORDI, 21 million for Track, and the same just with a couple extra zeros for SATS. Which is great because it means that there will be no more new tokens on the market being minted, and basically this should be deflationary with some methods involved regarding SATS at least. And applying the logic from before, you can find both ORDI and SATS on most centralized exchanges. ORDI is still missing Coinbase, whereas SATS are still missing both Binance and Coinbase. And Track being the lowest market cap currently, it is mostly very difficult to get. So they're on OKX, Bitmart, and Gate.io, a couple others as well. Keep in mind that OKX has the lowest withdrawal fees for Bitcoin, so if you're funding your wallets, you can use OKX as they usually have only $3 to $5 in withdrawal fees. Now, taking a quick look also at Unisat, because if you are planning to get your hands on these tokens, probably the best way to get them is using the Unisat marketplace. But keep in mind that unfortunately, you can only buy batches of tokens on Unisat, so you would have to spend a pretty penny if you want to get the cheapest price over here. But at least you are avoiding withdrawal fees of centralized exchanges, so this is also an alternative that you can use. All right, let's take a look at a little more risky but potentially higher reward with Doginals and DRC20s. So what's the narrative behind this? Essentially, if you remember 2020, when the DeFi summer was in full swing and Curve and Aave were popping up, you could literally pay a couple $100 for a transaction on Ethereum. People got so fed up with that. So there was obviously a transition into other scalable layer ones, such as Avalanche. There was this rebirth and birth of layer twos. Optimism, Arbitrum started to take notice in general public. Same thing is very, very likely to happen with Bitcoin because, as you know, last summer you could spend $1 for an NFT mint, well, bitmap mint, but today, good luck spending less than $15, $20 on every mint. So that's the thesis number one. 2 words for you for the next one. Elon Musk. I'm joking, but obviously the guy knows what he's doing, and he's been hinting at Dogecoin payments on Twitter forever now. And if that ever happens, guys, 200 million followers on Twitter are going to be like, told you so, and Dogecoin is going to pump to the moon. Not financial advice, but that's as clear as it gets. And obviously, it has no major exchange listings. Well, Dogecoin does, but the ones we're going to be talking about later, they are very, very, well, not very under the radar, but they are very, very underrepresented. Doge is basically your ORDI on Doginals, on Dogechain. And you also have something called Hub, which is the one we talked earlier. It is essentially trying to be a knowledge hub for the Doginals ecosystem. And last in this category, we have Doge maps. They're essentially bitmaps on Dogechain. And keep in mind that their supply is much, much higher. They have more than 5 million in supply, considering there's that amount of blocks on Dogechain. But they have a lot of catching up to do with bitmaps. They have about 250x to do, divided by 7, because maths. And Doge Market is also the best decentralized wallet for these kinds of shenanigans. You just open your wallet, fund it with Dogecoin, and you are good to go. Lastly, taking a quick look in the airdrop claim we have on BRC20, Xverse Wallet is announced that they have Runestone, which is for people who have actually had an NFT on Bitcoin. You can check if your address is eligible here on runestone.lfg.cash. And that's a wrap for all the topics for today. It was a bit of a long video, so summary is for BRC20s, you have your ordi, sats, and track. And for DRC20s, you have your Doge, Hub, and Doge maps. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. If you like the content, drop a like and subscribe with bell notifications on. And if you are ready to be a proper crypto degenerate, we are waiting for you in our Discord where we're making 2024 already pretty awesome. Have an amazing bull market, and till next time.